Okay, good afternoon. My name is Arun Sharma. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research here. And my job is to go through the day and summarize it. It has been a great day, and I think only young universities could have had a session like this. We cannot imagine something like this happening in the traditional universities. There are many themes that came out, and what I thought I'll do is perhaps go through and pick up some of the highlights and look at the threats that have come out. The answer to the question, what will disrupt universities? It's perhaps some universities will disrupt all the universities, and perhaps they are the universities that are the younger ones. We have a chance. The question of purpose of the university was very clear. And I think we need to understand that, yes, we have to educate the young and educate the old and educate the ones that are being disrupted. But ultimately, we are institutions that support our regions. We are about the economic competitiveness of our regions and the workforce needs that society has. We also become cultural institutions, and we have a multidisciplinary role so far as our mission is concerned. There are a number of themes that have emerged, but let me just start with the beginning. Martin Paul's session, he gave a great example of a university that is so embedded in the region. The concept of regionally relevant and internationally competitive is something that is very important. We all have to find our excellence that comes by solving the needs of our local problems, rather than competing on the questions that everyone else, the leading universities in the world, are trying to solve. And that is a theme that embeds us in our local community and our local economies. Martin also talked about the triple helix, and again, it is important that universities, the government, and the private sector have a very important role to play. We then moved to old and new partnerships, and again, we had some great examples. Jane talked about the engagement of Deakin into its regional community and the role Deakin has played in making the community more competitive again. Their adoption of technology, the new ways they're trying to do research is something very interesting. In fact, I really liked the whole analogy between the goat cheese curtain, the goat cheese and the deconstructed coffee beans and smashed avocado curtain is something that was compared with the Brexit situation in Ireland across the border. Wolfgang Wessel did mention about a not-so-young university, but again, the industry-university partnerships. And the example of NTU, how over a short period of time, in a totally different way, fairly top-down, fairly brutal in some ways, but a mechanism by which they have been able to transform themselves in one of the leading universities in the world. And they're all examples that can help us in changing in the right circumstances. Then we talked about new models of university and business collaboration. And again, we had the great example of Dublin City. Dublin City University, looking at Ireland's major location for technology companies and how the economy collapsed in Ireland and how that collaboration has helped Dublin City University be the engine of change is something that is another example for us as how we are economic agents of change for the regions in which we play. It was an interesting session because we had Greg Stone from Arup, who has a good technology background as CTO of Microsoft Australia. And he was telling us from the perspective of large professional services firms. And we should realize that not everyone will be an entrepreneur. A lot of our graduates will work in companies like Arup. And the challenges they are facing is we know how to optimize for the present, but how do we optimize for the future? The integration capabilities that they're looking in are the capabilities that we have to teach our students and give them experiences in working. And then we had Leanne Kemp. She didn't have pretty things to say about universities, But she is at the forefront. She's the hottest startup in the hottest technology on the planet today. But we are hoping to change her mind. So I just got an email. She just talked to a couple of researchers from QUT, one on cryptography, because she's having a cryptography issue, and another with a bunch of lawyers who is trying to help with privacy issues in blockchain. And again, that's the kind of interdisciplinary research that has to happen. She did talk about goat track and goat cheese, so that might be another theme of the conference. So transdisciplinarity was becoming a theme, but much of the discussion until then was in the research shape. But transdisciplinarity is also something that we have to look at in teaching. People have been talking about these T-shaped professionals, where there is depth and then there is breadth at the top. Perhaps T should stand for transdisciplinary professionals. And if we look at what is happening, new transdisciplinary professions are emerging, but we are not prepared to educate students. You go to any police department in the world today, any police department in the world, they're employing people that have computer science skills, they have criminal justice skills, law background, they have people with all sorts of experiences, and every police department is hungry for it, and there is no undergraduate program where they can actually do graduate. There are some universities like University College London and others, and I think Northeastern is probably looking at the cybersecurity degree, is how do we train these trained professionals for these transdisciplinary professions that are emerging? And there are some cultural issues. It is not easy for us to work across disciplinary boundaries because our tenure, our promotion decisions, our real estate, our funding models are all about keeping it all in-house. So universities have to look very strongly at this. Carla gave us a very impressive picture of how a college of computer science can actually be the agent of transformation for the whole of the university. She didn't say that, but that is one of the strengths of Northeastern University. And again, young universities are often strong in technology. And how we can use our ability to combine technology in a transdisciplinary way to solve end users' problems is what differentiates us. It is about solving societal problems by bringing the disciplines that are required to solve by using technology. That's what young universities stand for. So then we move to the last session, very interesting session, Rising to the Challenges of Tomorrow. Again, it was picking up on some of the same themes, but there was another element that was added. Horst obviously talked about his Ars Electronica experience, bringing design thinking, bringing transdisciplinary thinking, technology, arts, that is going to sort of address many of the problems. Sally Ann Williams and Catherine Ball challenged us. And again, what is happening here is that the culture of entrepreneurship is something that is here to stay. And it's probably useful to reflect on what is really going on. It is not 1999. It is not another dot-com boom that is going to have a bust. Yes, there will be changes and there will be ups and downs. What is happening is that the exponential growth in computing power and other related technologies is really giving us the ability where business model innovation is what is leading to startup of a lot of these companies. Often universities have been great about deep science. You do the research, you get the patent, and in 15 years, the startup will be bought by someone or you license the technology. Now, bright undergraduate students, the cost of entry is so low with a clever idea that combines, looks at a regulatory framework, looks at a business model, combines the technology, figures out a way to get some business model, and they can get started. And this is something that is a fundamental shift because of technological progress, and we have to cater to this in the education. A remark was made that a lot of these entrepreneurship happen by people who are not fresh graduates, and that's true, and we'll give you an example. We have a business planning competition here that our commercialization office used to do. It was available to any faculty, any student of KUT, and it was mildly successful. Then we decided that we actually have a sort of competitive advantage. The largest proportion of our graduates actually work within 2 kilometers of this campus. They all work in the CBD. And we said, why not we throw open to any team that has any QUT alumnus? And they can have all the other team members from University of Queensland and Griffith, we don't care. And suddenly the quality of applications, the scale of applications, and when we have the final pitching competition, we can easily fill 500 people in the room. And so that's the kind of transformation that has happened. And entrepreneurship is here to stay, but the MIT, Bill Ollett from MIT mentioned that we have to change how we teach entrepreneurship. So if someone has started a group of a company, and they want to learn how to raise capital, you can't tell them, you can take a course in the fall semester. They need that answer then, there, and now. And so how we become accustomed to getting our students and our alumni and the postgraduate students who might be coming back for like little bit of interaction, that just in time, problem solution, entrepreneurship training is what is going to differentiate us. So to summarize, we have had a great day. The themes that have emerged are young universities are hungry to change the world. We want to be relevant. We are engines of the society and the regions that we belong to. We want to look at problems and solve problems of end users. But in doing so, we bring a transdisciplinary approach to solving the problems. And often, the disruption that is caused by technology and leveraging technology to solve those problems is our differentiating capability, but we also should be looking at making our students and our academic staff more entrepreneurial. And that sets the scene for a great day tomorrow. Thank you very much, and thank you all the speakers. You have been wonderful. And we hope that we will have a great day tomorrow. Okay. Okay, I have some